and good morning. I'm Victor Dr. T. Kenslin and my friend. We are from Group 3. Would like to present our assignment. The title of our assignment is Incident Investigation in Johor Bahru. As you can see, this group consists 4 members, which is Nurul Azlin as moderator, Nur Kemilia as scriber, Benjamin, and Chong Junji. As you can see at the screen, this report is about the dumping of chemical into a river in Johor has caused many people to be treated breathtaking. The objective of this report is to protect the community and ensure their safety. This incident happened because of an illegal factory in Johor is not obeyed due to the element that covered in EQA 1974, which is water. This factory used tires dumping chemical waste that contain heavy metal that not get approval from Director General of Environment Quality. Because of that, the community having their hard time to perform their daily routine. So many schools in Pasir Gudang closed immediate as the area has been affected by the toxic. So in this report, we also include the chronology, analysis, discussion, improvement, and prevention for more detail about this incident. Next is the table of the content for make easy to read the report. That's all from me. Now I would like to call Benjamin to proceed the next content, which is introduction and background of the incident.
I would like to explain about introduction. So first, OSA was established to reduce workplace hazard, and it maintain a record keeping and reporting system to monitor job-related injuries and illness. Second, OSA is necessary because of workplace injuries, illness and death were increasing, and no uniform or comprehensive law exists to protect against workplace hazard. So mission of OSA is to save life, prevent injured, and protect the healthy of worker. So on average, 50 workers die every day from job injuries. For example, happening an incident in 16 March 2019, a dumping of chemical into a river in southern Johor, which is Sungai Kingkip about a week ago, has caused 500 people to be treated for breathing difficult and respiratory ailment, including dozens of students. Next, the background of the incident. Okay, company background. The gas is a chemical factory in Kula area involved in high cycling in Kula Johor is connected with the dumping, and the name of the company is Lotte Chemical Titan Holding Berhad. It has denied rumors that they are involved in the production of chemical. So Lotte Chemical Titan brushed aside a claim that its plant in Pasir Gudang will go or shut down for about 2 weeks due to the pollution of Sungai Kingkim. So Lotte Chemical Titan is going to shut down for 2 weeks. Next. In the chronology case, earlier March 12, a chemical factory in Kula area was discharged in Sungai Kingkim that flowed into stair of Johor near Singapore Pulau Ubin. Okay, about 7 schools of Johor has been affected. Nearly 300 people are receiving the medical treatment. 12 March, Johor Sultan Ibrahim Ismail Sukandar said that the school children, teacher, and healthcare worker also affected in this in this case, and they are they are in ICU. Okay. 13 March. So the education ministry is decided to close 111 school in Pasir Gudang. So 14 March, Environment Minister said that if found guilty, the company will face a 5 years maximum jail and a fine of 500,000. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
I will going to give an analysis of our filler form for this project. According to the Star Online, 111 schools in the Pasir Gudang area were closed immediately because the area has been affected by the toxic film that wafted into the school located near Sungai Kim Kim. This has caused many students in the area cannot went to school due to the water in the school area was polluted. So are the education of those students will delay or affected? In this case, the school can conduct online class during the time to minimize the effect. Next, the fishermen in the area are claiming that the thick sludge in the water is causing their boat engine to fail. So the income of those fishermen are affected. How can they fix and be charged for their broken boat's engine that failed but not because of their fault? In this case, the factory owner should be charged so that the compensation can be provided to the fishermen. After that, what should the student do to protect themselves when this portion occurs? Because this was a number of students suffering from dizziness, nausea, and vomiting increased gradually. The Education Ministry had ordered students in the pollution area to stay at home to avoid being affected. After that, with the locals in that area affected by the dumping of chemical into the river, this statement came out because the chemicals believed to contain heavy metal used to dissolve matter at a scrapyard and a chemical factory in Kulai area were discharged into Sungai Kim Kim that flows into the Strait of Johor near Singapore's Pulau Ubin. So how to make sure that the area is safe to stay? The Department of Environment had gave the answer. That would be installing gas detection monitors around Pasir Gudang to check on the air quality. Next, I will going to discuss about the water pollution. Over the last 100 years, humans have introduced a significant number of chemicals into the environment. While some chemicals are designed to get rid of weeds and pests, a significant amount of chemicals are waste from industrial and agriculture process. The improper handling of chemical waste has resulted in ocean and the world's water supply being treated like sewage or toxic waste dumps. While it may seem fine or industrial plants for industrial plant or manufacturers to dispose to inert chemicals when those chemicals are mixed, the result could be a serious pollutant to the water supply. As streams, rivers, and oceans become polluted, aquatic life can suffer as well as human, since water accounts for up to 60% of human bodies. It is important for chemicals to be disposed of properly and not end up in the water supply. Even you believe that the chemical you are throwing down the drain is fine on its own methods. What if your neighbor is thinking the same thing and the two chemicals combine in the sewer system? Already two-thirds of aquatic life is considered to be an endangered species because of improper disposed chemicals and other waste. However, businesses do not have to dump chemicals into water sources for the effects to be seen. Anytime you dump or release chemical waste, it will have an effect. As it rains, those chemicals are washed into rivers which feed the waterfalls and then go into the ocean. When a toxic waste harms one organism, it can be end up destroying an entire food chain of aquatic life. Improperly, improperly disposed chemicals pollute marine life and kill sea mammals, corals, and fish. At the same time, seabirds are affected because they eat the fish. In the matter of fact, an organism that digests affected marine life can have adverse effects. Just look at what happened to the man in China. His body was riddled with trapworms from eating contaminated sashimi. The result has shown that eating raw and or uncooked fish can lead a variety of parasitic infection. Tapeworms infection occur after ingesting the larva of Diphalopotrium found in freshwater fish such as salmon. Although marinated and smoked fish can also transmit the worms, while cases have increased in poorer areas due to improved sanitation, cases have increased in more developed countries. Instead of dumping chemicals, which is in most cases are illegal, the best practice is to use a hazardous waste disposal companies. Hazard waste companies are highly skilled and trained to properly dispose of harmful chemicals according to state and federal legislation instead of taking the risk of damaging the ecosystem and incurring hefty state and federal fines. That's all for me. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I bid to property and my fellow friends. So I will continue our presentation by sharing you guys about recommendation, which is consists of how we can improve and prevent this problem. So as stated in Water Enactment 1920 Act 418, in order to control and prohibit destruction of rivers, so as not to interfere with the smooth flow of water and restriction of discharges of specific substance into the river which might be detrimental to the beneficial use of the river waters throughout Peninsular Malaysia. So first thing first, for the improvement method, the village heads and village committee have to put CCTV covertly in existing areas in their villages so that the area can be monitored directly from village hall without fail. Next, the company itself should ensure that they dispose the toxic chemical correctly. They should dispose toxic chemical produced by follow existing rules where manufacturers must ensure their contractors dispose of chemical waste in specially designated areas, which is some can be sold for recycling and hazardous chemical waste must be sent to a chemical waste disposal site in Negeri Sembilan, which is the only chemical waste disposal site operated by Syarikat Kualiti Alam in our country. So last but not least, the government should also take part in overcoming this problem by imposing heavy fines on companies that still dump chemicals into rivers despite being warned. So the government can double the existing fines so that this problem will no longer exist in our country. So next, um, for the prevention method, all communities need to take part in this problem to ensure their own safety by make a police report or just report it to village committees if someone sees suspicious people at the river area and have the characteristic that they want to dispose of chemical. Next, the government must work with the village committees to instruct all residents to stay in the house and only go out when necessary. For example, go out to buy daily necessities. So those who need to go out must wear a face mask to prevent them from inhaling air that has been contaminated with toxic fumes. So last but not least, this case can be prevented by having a communal work at the river area. So the local community must participate and give full cooperation in this activity for the sake of common safety. So I think we are getting close to the ending of this presentation. So I will roughly conclude our presentation. So as a conclusion, we are achieving the objective in these investigations, and we are identified the impact that society had to experience after the case at Pasir Gudang Johor has been reported. So at the end of this study, government must carry out the recommendation idea immediately to provide a safe environment, especially for our community, so that they can proceed their daily activity as usual. And the company should think the consequences that will occur if they keep continue this immoral behavior. They must ensure safety of the employee is at stake, because to fulfill the philosophy and guiding principles of OSHA 1994, responsibilities to ensure safety and health at the workplace lies on those who create the risk and those who work with the risk. And on that final note, that concludes our presentation. At this time, I had like to have my colleague speak, so I will finish up by saying thank you for your time and your attention on our presentation today. So I think that's all from us. Thank you.